Picture this. You are in a room where millions are at stake. Hearts racing, palms sweating. This isn't just any room. It's the epicenter of strategic negotiations. Every word, every gesture counts, but there's a hitch. Cultural misunderstandings are clouding the air, turning potential wins into losses. Now, shift this scene to a hospital room. A doctor is speaking and a patient is nodding. But are they really understanding each other? Here, miscommunication can mean more than lost money or opportunities. It can mean lost lives. Hi, I'm Ian, and for over a decade, I've been that bridge in both scenarios, from high-powered boardrooms to intimate exam rooms. As a simultaneous interpreter, I've seen firsthand how individual behaviors shape communication, often in a way we don't anticipate. In high-stakes situations, whether in boardrooms or hospitals, the real challenge is grasping the essence of the person behind the words. It's not the job of language interpreters to interpret personal biases. They capture only the spoken word. I've witnessed leaders struggle, not due to a lack of skill, but because they stumbled over visible or perceived differences, leading to assumptions and misinterpretations beyond language. Let's look at empirical behavioral sciences and what they can tell us about human interactions. Entered Reason Action Theory, RAT, akin to the theory of planned behavior. This was a revelation I encountered during my graduate studies in health communication at Northwestern University. RAT, or the Reason Action Approach, is a general model of the determinants of behavior, particularly voluntary action. Researchers and other professionals have applied this theory in diverse fields to promote behaviors like public transportation usage, physical activity, condom use, and medication adherence. The theory suggests that the most immediate cost of voluntary action is an individual's intention, rather than their culture, gender, or nationality. Intention for an action tends to correlate with actual behaviors, with correlations ranging approximately from 0.40 to 0.55 across various settings, populations, and behaviors. To influence behavior change, RAT focuses on four critical elements for successful communication: attitudinal beliefs, controllability beliefs, injunctive norms, and descriptive norms. I like to refer to these as the asset test of behavioral intention. It provides a framework to gauge the effectiveness of your message. Understanding why people act the way they do is crucial. As an effective communicator or negotiator, one must set a clear goal, specifying the target, the desired action, the context of communication, and the expected time frame, tact. For instance, in the context of medication adherence, it's not enough to just make the process easier, such as through interpreters or prescription coupons. We also need to consider the other three aspects: what they think their cohort is doing, what they think their important others want them to do, and their personal attitudes toward medication. These elements are often the missing pieces of the puzzle in healthcare communication and patient care. Let's delve deeper into what culture really is. Merriam-Webster defines it as the customary beliefs, social norms, and material traits of a racial, religious, or social group. This definition highlights the group aspect, but doesn't really capture the essence of an individual. When we say culture, do we mean a family's dinner table or an office dynamic? Consider this. Even within the US, we have distinct East Coast, West Coast, and Southern cultures. Yet, despite these differences, every interaction in interpersonal communication is, at its core, intercultural. Many of my clients have sought cultural training to improve cultural understanding. For instance, one trainer advised that Since Japanese people tend to speak last in meetings, it's important to actively invite Japanese members to contribute. While this might hold as a general perception, what happens when your Japanese colleague is someone like Yoko Uno, known for her outspokenness? This illustrates why we shouldn't rely solely on cultural stereotypes. Therefore, it's crucial not to get caught up in cultural excuses. Instead, we should arm ourselves with a scientifically backed methodology and look beyond superficial labels like gender, nationality, language, age, or religion. In healthcare, persuading patients to follow medical advice isn't just about overcoming language barriers. In fact, research has shown that simply removing language barriers doesn't automatically improve medication adherence. It's more about delving into the patient's beliefs, the influence of their community, and their sense of empowerment. During a research project at a Chicago health center focusing on vulnerable, less English proficient LEP patients, we discovered that they viewed medications through a holistic lens, were heavily influenced by their village, and felt capable of overcoming medication barriers. Health organizations, therefore, might overlook a crucial aspect if they concentrate solely on dispensing pharmacy coupons without considering the involvement of patients' communities or the patient's perceived consequences. Similarly, in cross-cultural business interactions, it's more effective to focus on the desired behavior than categorizing people by their cultural group. It involves understanding how the other person perceives the desirability of that behavior and taking into account the opinions of their significant others and peer group. Implementing a tact strategy can guide the desired behavior. This approach, which embraces these diverse aspects, leads to more successful outcomes and represents a holistic, strategic method for intercultural collaboration. I remember a client, a veteran in the business world, who shared his deepest fear with me. He was about to embark on a new chapter in a culture completely alien to him. His apprehension was palpable, like being lost in a labyrinth with a blindfold. But when we introduced reason action theory into his toolkit, the transformation was remarkable. He didn't just cope, he excelled, learning to see through language barriers, decode the nuanced human interactions beyond mere words or appearances. So, here's my challenge to us all. In our diverse world, let's go beyond basic solutions like translation services. Let's embrace what behavioral sciences has taught us to deeply understand and navigate the complexities of intercultural collaboration. It's about forging real connections, understanding each other, and achieving together. Remember this. At the core of every interaction, whether in business or healthcare, is human connection. We all speak human. Let's use it to truly connect, to understand and be understood, making every interaction count in our beautifully diverse world. That's our shared journey.